Thanks for staying with us here on The Pulse. Now, let's start from Parliament, where the minority is calling for the immediate dismissal of the Communications Minister, Sam George, accusing him of incompetence and misleading Ghanaians over negotiations with MultiChoice. The deputy ranking member on the Communications Committee, Charles Oredu, said the minister's handling of the DSTV pricing matter showed poor judgment and lack of candor. He argued that Sam George wrongly announced a 30% price reduction when MultiChoice later clarified that what was offered to subscribers was only a temporary promotional package, not a negotiated cut.
The minister, all this while, reiterated his sole objective of price reduction. Indeed, in one of his media encounters, he reaffirmed this uncompromising price reduction position by saying, and I quote him, "I will meet Ghana and South African team in my office, and I'm clear in my mind that the meeting will not come to an end without an agreed price reduction." He continues, "I have seen the attempt by the South African management to say that when you buy a package, they will upgrade you to the next one. We are grateful," he said, "but that is not what Ghanaians want." The minister thereafter constituted a committee chaired by himself to further engage with MultiChoice and came to announce the outcome on September 29th. The display of disingenuity and deceit in what we properly termed a sentence update was seen by all of you. The minister completely abandoned his original firm 30% subscription fee reduction stance for the ongoing promotional offers by MultiChoice, which he claimed was a generational success story. But instead of answering to Ghanaians the legitimate questions we posed to him, such as why he chose to prioritize MultiChoice public relations efforts over his price reduction agenda, and also to account to Ghanaians how much had been accrued from the fines imposed on MultiChoice, he reverted to his usual trait of attacking the Minority Committee on Information and Communication and well-meaning Ghanaians who can read between the lines. Ladies and gentlemen, it's well known that MultiChoice DSTV has consistently run promotions. Since January 13th of this year, they have been offering a promotion called Step Up, which allows subscribers to upgrade their subscription to the next level at no additional cost in several countries. In July 2025, they reiterated this promotion and also reduced their decoder prices to show appreciation for both existing and the new subscribers. MultiChoice is continuing with this promotion, as indicated in their own release yesterday. It is important to note, therefore, that this is not the action of someone who, having failed to deliver on his promises, is attempting to take cover in these promotional offers. Our demand, ladies and gentlemen of the media, this impasse reflects the minister's lack of mental rigor in understanding and then conducting negotiations. One, his failure to grasp key issues during meetings and communicate the actual negotiated outcomes to Ghanaians, or a deliberate fabrication of what he was never able to broker, is evident. Firstly, MultiChoice publicly challenged him for inaccurately claiming that there had been an agreed reduction in prices. They issued a press release denying this assertion. Just yesterday, MultiChoice released a new statement clarifying that breakthrough the minister announced during his press conference as a result of his effective negotiations. In fact, they said what they were giving Ghanaians were merely promotional offers. This clearly aligns with what we stated in one of our earlier press statements. It is also demonstrated that the minister lacks the temperament and emotional intelligence for such a critical role. He has demonstrated this same trait on numerous public utterances, insults to citizens and industry players during the process. By adopting an arbitrary decision-making posture, the minister is also denying regulators, such as the NCA, the opportunity to perform their work according to law, which clearly threatens the growth of this sensitive industry. His actions also signal a breach of the President's Code of Conduct that requires candor and respect to all persons. Fellow Ghanaians, for this display of ineptitude, incompetence, and penchant for deceit, we of the minority demand that 1, the minister render an unqualified apology to Ghanaians for the waste of the nation's time and resources on this venture. 2, we call on him to account for the fines levied on DSTV. And 3, we deem him unfit to continue as the minister for this strategic ministry of communication, digital technology, and innovation, and therefore call on him to resign, or for His Excellency the President to fire him.
Well, that's the minority calling for the immediate dismissal of the communications minister. Well, we took to the streets to engage some DSTV subscribers. Some of them remain unhappy with the recent packages, and they feel that it doesn't really address the core issue of affordability. While others say that they're experiencing upgrades in their subscriptions, others criticize the minister for the current approach. Listen.
I noticed my package has been upgraded from Compact to Compact Plus. I mean, prior to that, there was a message on the platform, so I viewed it and it's notified me that my current package, which is Compact, is being upgraded to Compact Plus.
Yesterday, I experienced that there are more channels. It's like some channels have been added to it. So yeah, that's what I'm experiencing now.
Which package are you on?
I'm on Compact, but it seems I'm currently experiencing the Compact Plus package.
Yeah, but I'm not getting it. If the case is about price reduction, it should come as a price reduction, not national amount of value.
I think the minister should come clear. For me, I'm a DSTV subscriber, but for a while now, I've gone off because I feel that their prices are too much.
As far as the ministry happens to be the regulators, automatically they have to make sure that it's being brought down, because since other countries were also being brought down, probably it has to be brought down.
So you would prefer a price reduction?
Yes, a price reduction.
I mean, in the beginning, the minister was advocating for a reduction in the prices. But it turned out that now it is a package addition or value addition that he's talking about. So you don't seem to be able to merge the two.
Well, the CEO of the Consumer Protection Agency, Oti Tibetor, agrees with the minority that the communications minister must go. He's pushing for his resignation over the DSTV impasse. Oti Tibetor accuses Sam George of snowboating and failing to deliver on promises to reduce the DSTV prices, questioning why the minister didn't explore options like consumer boycotts to pressure MultiChoice into meaningful price cuts.
Even with the data, if you can attest and be fair to Ghanaians, now that they've given you more, the data even doesn't even work as it's supposed to. It keeps rolling around, and rolling around. There are pressing issues at NCA, the telcos, and the ministry, not DSTV. Like I said, DSTV says that a MultiChoice or their subscription is luxury. How many Ghanaians even, if you like, do a survey for me. Ask NCA, what is the number of DSTV subscribers in Ghana? We have over 5 to 10 million people who have issues with their telephone, communications, and data. NCA, and I do this because I know, NCA has what they used to determine what the telcos were doing well, which is called the QoS, quality of standard, quality of service. Since the minister came, has he even found out that the NCA has even done that? That is a parameter that will tell you which telco is doing well and which telco is failing. He's been showboating, and that's the word I'm going. He's been showboating for the longest time, and he's been exposed. And we see what makes me angry is he's a typical person who can dish out the heat, but he cannot take the heat. If he can't take the heat, he should get the hell out of the kitchen. Mr. Sam George, honestly, it's only in Africa that we can joke about these things. These things in any other jurisdictions, his head will go. You know, he will be made to resign. But Ghana, we can't do that. So he'll come back again, and he has the audacity to be angry and insulting people. This is what even makes me sick. You've goofed. You haven't done anything that you promised Ghanaians you were going to do, if for nothing. Like I said, the song, you did your best, but your best is not good enough.
Meanwhile, the ranking member on Parliament's Communications Committee, Machi Indem, just yesterday was on the polls, and he was asking the Communications Minister to apologize to Ghanaians, accusing him of incompetence and failing to secure the promised relief for DSTV users.
You promised Ghanaians that we should be expecting nothing but 30% cuts in our subscription to DSTV. That is your promise to Ghanaians. You made it clear to us from the beginning that you are not accepting any repackaging. And you said them trying to do that the South Africans are trying to say that pay this equal amount and they will upgrade you. He, George, will never accept it. By the close of the meeting, it is price cuts he wants. Period. We then say that, okay, we all support you. We are all Ghanaians. If prices fall, we benefit. You come out later, and what you have rejected from the beginning, you've accepted it. And we think that it has not been fair to Ghanaians. Tell us why you made that U-turn. Why is it that you are not able to meet the 30% cut? 2, apologize to Ghanaians because you created a lot of fear and panic in the system. You made a lot of noise. But at the end of the day, you brought nothing, just to Ghanaians.
We'll be getting some reaction to all the things that have come up today here on the polls, especially the Communications Ministry, just to get a response as to the demands for the Communications Minister to resign. Well, we'll give you all that here on the polls, but away from that for now, unpaid nurses and midwives poured onto the streets of Accra today, demanding the release of salaries they say have been in arrears for more than 10 months. The health workers under the banner of the coalition of unpaid nurses and midwives accused the government of neglect, lamenting that many of their colleagues are struggling to survive, with some unable to pay hospital bills or even afford daily meals. On Thursday, they marched to the Ministries of Finance and Health to present a petition insisting they're only asking for their rightful pay, not loans. Before we hear from the Deputy Finance Minister and the Health Minister, as well as key individuals involved in this, here are highlights from the protest.
Where the nurses and midwives are currently about to embark on a demonstration. According to them, they haven't been paid for 9 to some 10 months. And what has been the situation so far? Just a quick background.
All right, thank you very much. So we are the nurses and midwives in Ghana who completed our training in 2020. We did our mandatory 1-year national service, and we stayed at home for 3 additional years. It was in July 2024 that the Ministry of Health brought a statement that it has collaborated with the Ministry of Finance to get financial clearance totaling 15,200 for us to be employed. Following that, the Ministry of Health opened its recruitment portal because the Ministry of Finance had released a budget allocation of over 48 million Ghana cedis to pay us. We went on to the Ministry of Health's recruitment portal to fill our details. It was in October-November 2024 we started receiving calls from the various health facilities across Ghana Ghana that our mother ministry, Minister of Health, has posted us there, so we should resume or assume duty. We went, we did all paperwork, we filled all forms, and we started working. Those who needed staff IDs, some got their staff IDs, some got their appointment letters. We were a total of 13,500 that were recruited. And out of that, it was in April 2025 that some started receiving their salaries. And as we speak, about 7,000 have received their salaries, but the remaining, who are a little over 6,500, are yet to be paid. But then we don't know when they are going to be paid. We have made a series of follow-ups to our mother ministry. They were telling us our financial clearance, the same clearance that was used to pay some of our colleagues, ours has expired. We didn't understand, but they told us they have written to the Minister of Finance to extend the clearance, which they are waiting for a feedback. It is 9 to 10 months now. We've met with the Minister of Finance.
When was the last time you met with them?
With the Minister of Health, just last week we were with them.
But what was the response?
They said we should give them time. They are still talking to the Minister of Finance, but they don't know when they are going to pay us. We even asked that we are going to be paid within this year. They still couldn't confirm for us. So all they are giving is false reassurances without any timelines, and we are fed up with it. So we had a press conference in Tamale. Kumasi, sorry. We didn't get any feedback. We followed up with a demonstration last week in Tamale. We submitted a petition to the Northern Regional Minister at the Coordinating Council to be passed to the President. At the moment, we have not had any positive feedback. So we are following up with the demonstration.
Every day, we are working on it. For the past 7 months, we've been working on our salaries, and we've still not seen anything. I don't know how they expect us to go to work.
How are you surviving?
How we survive? We are surviving. Survival taxes. You have to call your family members for money. And we are tired of calling. When they even see your call, they don't answer the calling because they know you are coming to beg for money. For that 10 months, we are tired. We are really tired. We are not slaves. We are very tired. For 10 months, we endured that 10 months. It's enough. It's enough. We have endured it. We are begging the Minister of Finance to please pay us. We are claiming our clearance as expired. We are begging them to renew our clearance. If they can't renew it, they should revoke our appointment. It would rather be good than be in the house. At least we'll do something. Than be on the water and not have any source of income.
What we don't want to hear is the clients has expired. How? Because the same client they issue, they use it to pay others and leave others. Why do they leave it? Why do they leave us? Because it's the same clients that they issue the same day. We fill the same form with them, and they paid our colleagues and left us on there.
What are some of the things that you personally are going through as a result of not being paid?
For me, like this, I have to wait. I have to wait till maybe 1 to 2 o'clock before I buy gobe and eat, and drink water till the next day. I've been eating once a day. Sometimes sometimes I'm not even getting food to eat. It's very painful. It's very painful. They should just try and we are begging the government to pay us.
And we are eating once a day. Even the once a day, we cannot afford it. We cannot afford it. We are owing quick loans, FIDO loans. We are owing loans. We took loans to come and rent. I have a loan. My loan is due to be a FIDO.
So that's what you can see on the screen right now.
FIDO loan to come and rent 6,000, and I'm still owing FIDO. I'm still owing. But I've been working for 10 months. I started working in December. I've been working for 10 months. Without salary, nothing.
Borrowing for far too long.
When you are going to work, you pick a car. At the end of the month, you pay your bills. Your landlord will not take you for granted, like you are staying and your salary is not in, so you cannot pay your bills. You are paying the bills because everybody is paying.
Why do you keep disrespecting us? What was our crime? Was our crime the fact that we went to buy nursing training forms and not purchasing that of university to practice political science or what?
Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Ampemiako, who received the petition on behalf of the Finance Minister, acknowledged the lingering legacy challenges but assured the nurses and midwives that all arrears will be cleared after the presentation of the national budget.
The petition on behalf of my minister, and I'll communicate, I'll send the petition to him. I will also add the message that you have added to this petition.
Now,
This issue has been brought to our attention. The health minister and my minister are in constant touch. They are discussing all these issues. We know your predicaments. A few days ago, some of your colleagues in the education sector came here with a similar petition. The message I give them is what I'm giving to you, that your issue is being addressed. There are a lot of legacy challenges that we inherited, and we are working earnestly to fix all of them. In the next month or so, the finance minister will be in Parliament to present a new budget. Issues of health workers who have not been paid, not just you. There are even some doctors and others are seriously being considered, and you are going to receive your salary. We appreciate the work that you do for Ghana, and I'm sorry for those of you who are not even well, but have had to walk all the way to here, to this place, to present this petition. It will be given the needed urgent attention, as you have stated, and you hear back from us. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Please, you made a statement. We just need a clarification, if you would permit us. You said the ministry will meet in Parliament to present a budget next month, and we will be paid. So we want to be sure: is it next month we are going to be paid, or when?
I didn't say that. Details you have just presented this petition. I'm telling you that we have received the petition. Okay. It is getting the needed attention.
Okay.
As to timelines, when your bank accounts will receive your salaries, I cannot stand here to announce it. Those details will be given to you in due course. Thank you.
Because we are not going.
Well, the unpaid nurses also marched to the health ministry, and the health minister, Kwabena Kanda, also disclosed that his administration inherited some 13,500 recruited nurses without financial provision, a situation that has worsened the area's challenge. Listen.
I've been a member of Parliament, and I'm still a member of Parliament from a rural constituency. I have been a member of Parliament, and I'm still a member of Parliament from a rural constituency. So I have constituents who are going through the same ordeal. I have family members who are going through the same ordeal. But not yourself. The truth of the matter is that we inherited 13,500 of you being recruited without any financial provision. Please listen to me carefully. Now, as I speak to you now, we have collaborated with the Ministry of Finance. And please listen carefully. When it comes to issues of salary, the Ministry of Health then collaborate with the Ministry of Finance. Now, out of the 13,500 people, more than 7,000 to 8,000 of them have been processed and they are receiving salaries. It's not true. Now, we have about 6,500 of you whose documentations are still being processed. What I can tell you on authority is that we appreciate the challenges you are going through, but we as a Ministry of Health will continue to work closely with the Ministry of Finance until all of you are paid. And so I have heard a lot of you screaming when. With the greatest of respect, allow me to get back to my colleague, the Minister for Finance. Let's put our heads together so that we can give you the final, deadline. I do not want to stand here and give you a timeline, say next week, and when it's not being fulfilled, it will be construed as we have also, disappointed you again. I know you have going through a lot, but with the greatest of respect, please bear with us. Please bear with us. We'll continue to work closely with the Minister of Finance until each and every one of you have been paid. You are right to demand what you are due.
Yes, you are an employer.
And therefore, not until all of you are paid, we will not relax on our hours. But unfortunately, we will not determine your salaries as a Ministry of Health alone. We will have to work closely with the Ministry of Finance. I thank you all for the opportunity.
Now let's hear from the convener of the unpaid nurses and midwives, Stephen Kojo. Thank you for your time here on the Pulse. You've just been hearing the assurances of the Finance Ministry as well as the Health Ministry. Are you satisfied? Kojo, you have to position rightly for me to hear you and unmute as well. We've just been hearing from Kwabena Mintae-Kando, the Health Minister, tell us that, in fact, he had inherited an administration where 13,500 of you were recruited without financial provision. And this is one of the key concerns he raised, the reason why your monies have delayed for so long. But I also heard him say that 7,000 of you have been cleared. And I heard a lot of discontent among your members when he put out that figure. So I just want you to clarify for me. Do you have a challenge with the figure that he put out today? Well, you still have to unmute for me to hear you clearly. We're having difficulties connecting to you, Stephen Kojo. But you're still watching the Pulse. When we come back, we have more for you. Please stay tuned in. Thanks for staying with us here on the Pulse. Now, we're still reconnecting the line to bring that conversation we promised with the aggrieved nurses who today picketed the Health Ministry and the Finance Ministry, just raised concerns about unpaid arrears for the past 10 months. But news just reaching us right now is that the Ghana Education Service has interdicted Mr. Richard Tibetor of Okadjakrom SHTS over alleged sexual misconduct. And that statement from the Ghana Education Service is coming out on your screens right now. Yeah, that's it. There you have it there. It says that the management of the Ghana Education Service has taken note of a disturbing video circulating on social media allegedly involving Mr. Richard Tibetor, a teacher at Okadjakrom Senior Technical School in Jessica Municipality of the Oti Region in an act of sexual misconduct with a female student. Management of GES finds the conduct unacceptable, unethical, and a clear violation of the Professional Code of Conduct for Teachers. Hence, Mr. Tibetor has been interdicted and prohibited from entering the school premises pending further investigations into the matter. The GES assures parents, guardians, and the general public that the safety and protection of all students remain our topmost priority. Any teacher found culpable of acts that compromises the dignity and well-being of students will face the full rigors of the law in accordance with GES Code of Conduct. GES remains committed to ensuring discipline, professionalism, and child protection across the schools in the country. And that is signed by the head of public relations at the Ghana Education Service, Daniel Fain. Well, thankfully, Daniel joins us live here on The Pulse. We appreciate your time. What went into this decision, really?
Thank you for the opportunity. As you might be aware, for some days now, there has been some trending video on social media, very unfortunate one, allegedly involving one teacher and then a student. The video came to our attention. We quickly got in touch with our director, then all kinds with the of help in that matter. So we have seen preliminary information that is the person you are really about the man is teacher in the late student that and by the school of conduct.
Daniel, you have to position rightly. I seem to be losing you intermittently. Please position rightly and make that point for me.
Hello. Is it better now?
Much better.
Yes. So whenever we get a report of such nature, the first reaction is to ensure that the person or persons involved are isolated from their environment or removed from their portfolio or office so that they are not tempted to use their position, portfolio, presence to manipulate, compromise, alter documents here and there to compromise the decision process. So the first reaction, interdict, remove the person from office, take away all his access to the school environment, to the student as well, so that free and education could proceed. And that's our first reaction to move him and then allow the necessary investigations to proceed.
And what is this investigation seeking to unravel?
So the first point is that we want to understand where it happened, when it happened, why it happened, and I mean all the factors, and understand what contributed to this and what form of punishment should even be meted out to the teacher, and what form of support system can be given to the students in question. You know, when matters like this happen, normally we consider the student a victim of the situation. And so our approach to the student is normally different from our approach to the teacher, because we believe the teacher should know better. The teacher should be parental in their approach to the student. They should be mentors to the student. And so we expect that they should better conduct themselves well. And they also have, our teachers have code of conduct that they are supposed to comply. And so we try to get all the necessary information we need to get so that it informs what kind of support to give the victim and what kind of punishment to give the predator. Yes.
Circumstances, you have just confirmed to us that the girl in question is a student. Do we know her age?
We are yet to establish that. So for all the specifics in terms of numbers, figures, timings, data, we want to allow the investigation to reveal all those specifics.
And have you set up a committee to do this investigation?
Indeed, we don't even set up. The committee is already in existence. And so, once it happens, we acknowledge that the school is found in a particular district, in a particular region. So we allow the region to conduct their investigation and send a report to head where the authorities based the facts gathered available to us. We take action. So yes, investigations have already started. But even this action already says this is just form of the public what is already happening. All this has got national attention. It has gotten the attention public. We feel that the public should update what is in relative to the video.
In the state of the girl in question, has she already started receiving psychological support and medical care?
It is. So for the specific case we are dealing with, the context is a bit nuanced because the lady involved is actually done with the WASI and left the school premises or the school campus. And so at the moment, we are, of course, because of the investigations, reaching out to her, and not only her, the family, because we understand that when these things do happen, sometimes if care is not taken, because the lady, young, vulnerable, innocent, going viral and all that, they could find themselves in depressive states, get emotional instability, psychological impact and all that. Yes, investigations, and because we have the school counseling coordinator, the district counseling coordinator, even the regional level, we have attempts are being made indeed. Only that because they actually left campus to their homes, because they have completed school, their context has become null. If we had her on campus, then access would have been quite easier and simpler. But because they are out of campus, we are reaching out to her and the family as well.
That the committee or the investigations have already commenced. Do we know how the video became viral and how it came into the public domain?
We expect the investigations to reveal those specifics, but for now, what we know is that the video broke out on the internet suddenly, I think about 2-3 days, and it generated conversation. And for us, as other institutions, once videos make their way on the internet, even those that do not make their way on the internet, they are so it's unacceptable, unethical, unprofessional.
Daniel, you have to position rightly. It's happening again. I'm losing you again. If you could position rightly and just make that point for me.
Yes, I believe it's better now.
Much better.
Yes, so I was saying that once a video breaks out on the internet, we get into understand what is going on and be able to access in terms of how what the internet.
Oh dear, it seems to be happening again, Daniel. Well, whilst you're positioned rightly, I just wanted to find out, this is creeping up again. Just a few days ago, you had to deal with the issue at KNUST, where the assistant headmaster currently has been suspended. We've been hearing from Child Rights International. They're pushing for an audit of the social systems within the schools. Just as you finalize and make that point, is it something that GES would be looking at?
Let me mention and emphasize that anything at all, be it a conversation, be it an intervention, be it a suggestion or advice, that will inure to the well-being of our students, that will inure to the protection of our young girls, that will inure to the safety, psychological, emotional, mental safety of our young girls. The Ghana Education Service is 100% open for that interaction, for that conversation, and we are very open, especially with the support of our stakeholders, in this case, even our parents, the PTA, the teachers themselves, because a lot of them are also very responsible in how they discharge their duties. We are completely open for such conversations and discussions to make sure that our young girls feel very safe and feel very sound in the educational environment that they find themselves.
Some individuals are pushing for modification of the GES Code of Ethics to ensure firmer punishment for individuals caught in compromising situations with students. Do you agree?
We believe that at the moment, that's what we have. When you are found culpable in such situations, the first is that Ghana Education Service cannot work with you, because for somebody who doesn't have moral standards, for somebody who is supposed to be a parent, a mentor, to the young learners. If you cannot discharge your duties in that professional manner, then we cannot obviously work with you. So the first reaction is that you lose your job. And then when investigations reveal that the student involved or the victim involved is a minor, then that's where the matter even becomes more complicated, because when it comes to minors, whether they gave you consent or they didn't give you consent, once they are minors, the law country do not allow. And so, the police, the legal system, so that's already double time. That's
Daniel, it's happening again. You have to position rightly for me. I presume it's a network challenge, but then you can just position rightly and finalize on your point for me.
Yes.
Yes.
So the point is that with GES, you lose your job, you are dismissed if you are found culpable of the allegations. And then if the victim or the student involved is a minor, then your issue becomes even more complicated, because then the legal processes and the police take over the matter, because once it's a minor, whether she gave you a consent or she didn't give you a consent, it doesn't even matter. It's not a conversation, because a minor is not considered mature enough to make decisions related to sex and sexual activities. And so for now, this is the arrangement. But if we believe that this is not deterrent enough, so we should look into other approaches and other punitive measures. Why not? What we are interested in as Ghana Education Service is to ensure and insist that our teachers act and conduct themselves in the most professional manner as expected of them.
With the Ken USD assistant headmaster case, you told us that he's on suspension. And we just heard from the Gender Ministry give us update that the girl in question is 13 years of age. What happens to him in this case?
In this case, the police and the legal processes will take over, because as I mentioned, when the girl is a minor, as you rightly mentioned, 13, then whether she consents or she does not consent, that is no longer convicted, because a minor is considered mature to be able to take such and related sex and sexual activities. And so, in this case, if it is finally established, really established, that the head is culpable, then we as Ghana Education Service cannot work with him, and you lose your job, you lose your license as a teacher, and then the police and the legal process will also take over, because then it becomes a matter that will even interest the state. Not only the Ghana Education Service, but the state. And so the state takes over to deal with you.
And what's the timeline for the finalization of the investigations with that particular case?
We expect that in the couple of days, we are able to finalize the investigations, because, for both cases, videos are involved. And, once videos are involved, it becomes quite simpler, because then you are able to see the faces, the identities of the persons involved, and in both cases, they have admitted they are the persons in the video, and so it makes it easier and simpler to gather all the necessary facts and details we would need to inform our decision. So in the next couple of days, yes, that's the finalized report sent headquarters.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel Faye. He is head of PR for the Ghana Education Service. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. Well, away from that, the government has raised the producer price of cocoa by 400 Ghana cedis, representing a 12.27% increase over the price announced in August. As new price is set to take effect tomorrow, October 3, 2025. This was announced in a statement released today by the Finance Minister and signed by the Finance Minister himself, Dr. Kasiel Atuforsin. Now, that detail is on your screens right now. That press conference that press release, I beg your pardon, from the Finance Ministry. It just giving you key details of what exactly we're to expect. We'll just take a few of them. They're telling us that the Producer Price Review Committee on Cocoa, under his chairmanship, convened today to review the producer price of cocoa for the 2025-2026 season. And the second point there, on the 4th of August 2025, government announced the producer price of cocoa for the season 2025-26 at 3,228 cedis, 75 pesos per bag, and 51,666 Ghana cedis per ton. Now, representing 70% of the average gross of FOB price of $7,200 per ton. Now, point 3, they go on to state that following extensive consultation with stakeholders, government has decided to increase the producer price of cocoa to 3,625 per bag, Ghana cedis, or 58,000 Ghana cedis per ton. This represents an increase of about 400 Ghana cedis per bag, equivalent to 12.27% rise over the price announced in August. The new price, they tell us, take effect this Friday, which is coming up tomorrow, on the 3rd of October 2025. Margins, fees and rates to all stakeholders, include Cocoa Board, remain unchanged. They go on to state that Cocoa Board will continue to implement interventions to support cocoa production and improve the welfare of cocoa farmers. And that statement is signed by the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasiela Tuforsin. It's on all our social media handles as well as myjoyonline.com. Let me just expand the conversation here on the pause and bring in Nana Obwade Boating Bonsu. He's president of the Concerned Farmers Association of Ghana. We appreciate your time. We're just hearing from government. Tell us that they're increasing the price of cocoa by some 400 Ghana cedis. Are you pleased?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. The name is Farmer General Nana Obwade Boating Bonsu.
Thank you.
It is fantastic. When I heard the price, it was so fantastic that at least, and at the end of the day, ATO has forced too much in a way that he has also listened to the voice of with the farmer. But when the price came and then we're liberated on it, saying that it is not good, the price is so down, this and that, due to the dollar rate here and there, we approach the Finance Ministry and then we let them understand that the price of the cocoa, we are not happy with it. So if there should be an increment, we'll be happy with it. And then today, we have heard a good news by 400 Ghana cedi increment on it. So we first of all thank Honorable Atuforsin and then the Cocoa Board and then all the management team for doing such a wonderful thing for with the farmers. But there's one thing that we need to look at. This is just a tip of an iceberg. There are a lot of things to happen because I know that the price will not stay like that. The price will go up again by next year, or maybe next year it will go up again. And one major challenge that it is eating we up is our cocoa is going. Our cocoa is dying. That is what the focus has to be.
And what is influencing the death of your cocoa crops?
Come again?
What is influencing the death of your cocoa crops?
It's the galamsey. The galamsey is eating up the cocoa. As I'm speaking to you, the network is very bad because some of us were in the western region. Now that I will be picking a bus from there to Accra because tomorrow President is meeting the CSO to talk about this galamsey issue. So we are also coming. Though we are not invited, but we are coming. This galamsey thing is eating up our cocoa. At the moment, we can enter a various cocoa farm that the galamseys have been digging down. And the cocoa trees is still standing dying off. So we are pleading on the government that we, the farmers, we are promising them that we are going to give them 1 million tons by next year. But with this kind of bad activities and the bad behavior, we can't achieve that. So if this galamsey thing shouldn't stop today or tomorrow, I think there's a very big problem for us. That is why we have bring up a very nice approach. And our approach of stopping this galamsey from eating our cocoa trees is setting up a plantain chips factory at Gaboso. And that is what concerned farmers have been doing, and we have done. For now, we've even converted almost 1,200 galamseyas to farmers, which we are waiting for piglet to be ready for which to give it to them, for them also to start livestock. So what we are saying today is, we thank them for the increment, but then the problem is, our cocoa is going, our cocoa is dying.
And
the illegal activity is too much.
And what approach would you propose government adopt in the fight against illegal mining? As a farmer, do you subscribe to the declaration of a state of emergency in key areas where the canker has eaten deep and is affecting your operations?
No, what kind of state of emergency? We don't need any state of emergency. We don't need it. Even with the concerned farmers, if we get the necessary logistics, we can stop this galamsey within a month. Because we even tried our best, go to the other places and see the number of youth that we even move them from the galamsey side for them to be on their various homes. Others have moved to their various regions and the rest. With our individual support, we shall room to do this. So if we get the necessary support from government, I think there will be no galamsey in this country.
And you subscribe to the deployment of the military to at least protect your farms, don't you?
We don't need any military to protect our farms. We don't even trust them. Or the security sectors, we don't even trust them. Because one, what shows that he's a proper military personnel coming? We saw some people going around, we saw some people when you go to Ayamfore, Watekopo and the rest, you see some people in uniform, where people are doing galamsey, watching them doing it. And what is that? You see, so it is not about military, it's not about the security sector. We are Ghanaians, so we have foreigners that they involve themselves also into this kind of games that they're also doing it. But we have talked to our citizens. They are ready. What the young people are saying, there's no job for them. That is why they are doing this galamsey. So with the concerned farmers, I've been able to talk to some of them. We have videos on it to prove. Some of them have said, we will not do it again. So now, what can you give us? I said, what do you want to do? They said, I want to do farming. I want to rear pigs. We have been able to give some of them pigs. We have been able also to mobilize some of them. Now, we have secured a place. The DC of Gaboso have given us a place which we are going to set up plantain chips factory at Gaboso. And these galamseyas will come there to work. And this is how we should go about it. It is not about military, it is not about any other thing. There are some military personnel that will go there really without taking any money from the people, or the police people without taking money from other people. But others will also go, take money, and then even guide them for them to do the illegality. But the whole thing is, we need to get our citizens back home so that we will face the foreigners who are now the militants within the bush with the heavy arms and the rest. They are the people that the military have to fight, but not our citizens. Because the citizens have the right to do anything at all to survive. It is the responsibility of the government to make sure that we feed each people, give them shelter and good water, good education, and the rest. And that is what exactly that the government has come out with Feed Ghana initiative and other governmental policies. That is why focus is indicated that will soon take in place. And that is what we, the concerned farmers, are doing. That is why we are saying that the government has to listen to us because we are on the field. If the government don't listen to us, we will fail. Because we hold this country high esteem.
And that's why you're attending that meeting with CSOs tomorrow. Mr. Boateng, stay with me. I'll come back to you. Let me bring in now Professor Kwesi Pepra. He is Associate Professor of Finance at Andrews University. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. I just wanted to get your initial reaction to this. We're hearing from government that they're increasing the price of cocoa by 400 Ghana cedis. Economically, is that the right decision?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your viewers. So your question is straight on. Economically, yes, it's on the right path. So I'm going to explain it using the data as we have it now in Ghana. Okay. The first thing is that at the time in August, we noticed the cedi started weakening. So it was, remember, the cedi was around 10 Ghana cedi to $1, and now it's hovering around 12 Ghana cedi to 40. It's estimated that maybe by December it should be around 13 Ghana cedi. So anytime the cedi weakens, the farmer must be compensated for. So an increase is in the right direction. So the 400 cedis, if you check, it's at about 12.27%. If you look at that one and compare it to how the cedi has devaluated between August and today, which is about 11%, it's just to be able to cover that kind of devaluation. And in a way, it's going to motivate the farmers to produce more, which is going to incentivize them to produce more. So remember, as you were talking to the Cocoa Farmer Association member, he was very happy and he was talking about they are going to produce more. The 400 cedi is going to lead to overproduction, and that is another point. The third point is that the price differential between Ghana, Togo, and Ivory Coast must be sustained. Currently, Ivory Coast, if you look at their per 64 kg bag, it's around 220,000 CFA franc, which is about 2,000 Ghana cedis per bag. So there's no motivation for someone to produce in Ghana and smuggle it to Ivory Coast if the price is this 3,600 plus. And if you compare to also Togo, where a lot of people also smuggle cocoa to, Togo's price is also below 2,200 Ghana cedis. So our price is way high. The advantage is that even those in Ivory Coast and Togo, if they are going to be rational beans, they will rather bring their cocoa beans to Ghana for us to export, and they will get more money. So I'm sure government is looking at how do we stop the smuggling, and this increasing in price puts Ghana, if you compare on cedi, I'm using the cedi by cedi basis. I'm not comparing it with CFA and other, just cedi by cedi basis. This new price is more give the Ghanaian cocoa farmer incentive to produce more and also to stop the smuggling. They also compensate for the increase in the devaluation of the cedi. Another advantage that we've seen is that the inflation rate is dropping, which is going to be a good point for the farmer, knowing that now I'm getting my purchasing power is increasing, which means that they have additional 400. Whatever goods they are going to buy, the price of the items continues to come down. So cocoa farmers will be happy. The last point I would say, how do we move Ghanaians, those who are interested in galamsey, to turn them into farmers, especially cocoa farming? This is one of the points. If you compare the price differentials in how much they are paid if they work in a galamsey farm, and if they go into cocoa farming, how much they will get. Now, this 400 cedis is more enticing to them to let people move from galamsey to cocoa farming. It's not going to solve the whole problem, but at least government is starting from somewhere, which is very good.
And another key concern that has been raised is about Ghana's quality of cocoa they produce. And knowing fully well that we're competing with other international organizations who are seeking to dominate the cocoa industry, the concern about illegal mining creeping into our farms and compromising the quality of beans we produce, how do you propose we deal with that so that we do not be blacklisted on the international markets economically?
So this is where the research team at the Cocoa Board must come in very fast. They must have to put scientific research to be able to ascertain whether, one, our cocoa beans are affected. I know there are some research that have been conducted by KNUST, some researchers, saying that some food crops, they can find mercury in them. We cannot say much about cocoa beans for now. So the Cocoa Research Institute must be able to give us the data, and then the data can inform policy direction. But if we hear what it's saying, we cannot just conclude that our beans are affected by maybe we have something in them. So we have to be very careful. We should rely on data to be able to make some of these points. We cannot, it must be scientifically proven that indeed there is some defect. But as at now, there is no defect. Ghana cocoa beans is still seen as a premium cocoa, and everyone is interested to buy. If you check, I'm sure there are a lot of orders that we have to supply, and there is some. The positive is that we should make sure that we shouldn't speak negatively that will affect our markets. You know, the cocoa industry is the major industry for Ghana. And if you look at what I'm doing, I don't want even to mention it on your television for someone to pick it up. So anyone who is going to speak about the Ghanaian cocoa should still portray that our cocoa is a premium and the world should come and buy it. As we speak now, there's no data pointing to the fact that our cocoa beans have been affected by any chemical reaction from these galamsey activities.
Thank you so much, William Pepra, for joining us here on the Pulse. Let me just wrap up with Mr. Boateng. You tell us that you'll be attending that CSO meeting tomorrow. What will be your key demand on the table when you meet the president?
Well, we are not invited, so I don't know whether they will even allow me to penetrate. But then still, I will make it because I'm currently in the Western North region, which we are trying our best just to talk to this galamsey, and we are done with it. So I'll be moving this evening. I'll get to Accra tomorrow morning, and I have to be at Jubilee. So when I get an opportunity to meet the president, what I will tell the president is, it is very simple. This galamsey fight is something simple that we don't even need to spend much bringing soldiers, military, whatever within the forest. No. What we have to do is to engage these young people, like the way with the concerned farmers have engaged them, ask them what they want. It is not these young people that they are doing it to. If you want to talk about this galamsey thing, the excavators, these young guys don't have the money to rent for the excavators. There are big people behind this kind of destruction. But those galamsey guys that we are talking of, they have been using this minor machines that they use it, and then they will take the place and then they will take it. Others also, when they finish using their excavators and other things from the site, they will also go to the place and then do quickly or maybe do some small activities and wash also their own inside. So this is what is happening. So the only thing that can save this situation is to get them employment. That is what we, the concerned farmers, selling brooms to give these galamseyers employment. We've done so far. Giving some of them transportation even to go back to their various bridges. So when I meet the president tomorrow, I think there are a lot to talk about, but then there's a video that I will let the president watch to see that this is what is going on.
Okay, thank you so much for your time here on the Pulse. Well,
thank you very much.
Away from that, a devastating mining pit collapse at the Trimamponia district of the Ashanti region has left at least 5 people dead and several others injured. The devastation struck at around 4:30 p.m. on October 1, 2005, when an abandoned pit caved in, trapping an estimated 16 to 20 people engaged in illegal mining. Let me cross over to my colleague now live on the ground, just get updates on this. Thank you so much for your time here on the Pulse. What's the update as we speak, Dana?
Currently, the security agencies led by the Ghana Police Service are on the ground. They are on a rescue mission trying their best to be able to pick some of the people they believe are still trapped in this mine pit. These are illegal miners who had gone into an abandoned pit to find their daily bread. And it's something that is done within the community. The young people there normally go into this place which is abandoned and try to make their daily bread from this area. And unfortunately, yesterday when they went in on their search about killing 5 people. So far 9 people have been retrieved, and out of the 9, 5 people have been confirmed dead, and their bodies have been deposited at the morgue. 4 others are in critical condition. As I said earlier, police are still on the grounds trying to rescue others who they believe are trapped in there.
Thank you so much, Dana. We'll be back at you. Just get updates as to the rescue mission and the key concerns being raised by community members. But meanwhile, in Boli in the Savannah region, an illegal mining task force led by the DC for Boli, Abdullahi Mahmood, has destroyed 33 pieces of equipment by illegal miners at Babato in the Volta Lake near Bamboy. The equipment had been destroyed, and it includes 4 champagne machines burnt, 9 destroyed, 20 washed plants destroyed. On the phone right now, joining the conversation is Rebecca, just to give us Natoma. Thank you so much for your time here on the post, just to give us updates as to what exactly is happening. You're on the ground. What's the extent of devastation?
At Babato, the water bodies that is linking to the black water at Bamboy have been destroyed, and the DC, together with some DISEC officials, led a team of task force to Babato community, where there is an illegal mining on the black water. And upon arriving there, the DC realized that people who are on the lake using champagne machines have been there for some time now without people's notice, because that community has no network. And from Bamboy to where the illegal mining is ongoing is about 19 kilometers away from Bamboy. So when the DC arrived there, he realized that the people have caused a lot of mess. Fishermen around the banks of the river have also flew out because due to the mercury and other chemicals the illegal miners are using at the site. So as we speak now, equipments that were found with these illegal miners have been burnt, and some of them too have been destroyed. So the DC is currently saying that all the illegal miners along the black water have to vacate. Most especially, you go there and see these teenagers and drug abuse. People are just there doing different kind of social vices. So he's advising that when you finish fighting with these illegal miners on the black water, that is linking to Abricos, linking to Yeji, and even the Akosombo Dam, there they will create education and other employment for the youth to engage themselves than engaging themselves in this illegal mining that is destroying water bodies along the black water in the Bole district.
We've also heard fishermen are leaving the black water. Why exactly?
They are leaving the black water because their work as fishermen along the lake or the black water have been destroyed. And for them to go for a week or two without getting fish on the lake has given them a lot of headache. And even fishes that they get around this place is now costly. At first, you can even buy medium sizes of fish, maybe 4 for 20 cedis. But now it sounds 100 Ghana cedis. So that is why the DC is saying that for them destroying agri products around the lake, then they need to also destroy the illegal miners' equipment so that people can go in to fish, people can also go in to do other farming activities, instead of these illegal miners destroying the water bodies. And as we speak now, you can't even fetch the water to even wash clothing, not to talk of fishermen being there. So they've also changed their minds and also made ways to just run away from the Bole district due to these mining activities on the black water.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that update. Well, thankfully, I have the DC for Bole joining the conversation here on the pulse. Mr. Abdullahi, we appreciate your time. This operation, how long will it be for? Mr. Abdullahi, you have to unmute for me to hear clearly. I just wanted to find out the timelines. Is this a one-time thing? Should we expect that you will be going on this operation more often? What's the plan?
What I'm saying is that until they leave the platform,
well, we're working the lines right now to get clear connection to the DC for Bole. Mr. Abdullah, you have to unmute for me to hear you clearly. You were just making a point there.
Yeah, I was saying that they will continue to fight it until the illegal miners are off the water body.
We're just looking at the footages, and the Black Voter Lake really is far from what we know it to be. We're hearing from our reporter on the ground tell us that farmers are beginning to exit the area because they don't even have a catch each time they go on the sea, on the lake. And that's a big concern for you, isn't it? Mr. Abdullahi, can you hear me? Okay, whilst we work the lines to get clearer connection to Mr. Abdullahi, you are still watching the polls. We're just discussing some of the updates happening in Poli. Yes, Mr. Abdullahi, I can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Clear. I can hear you now loud and clear. You were just making a point before we lost you.
On network.
Mr. Abdullahi, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm hoping you can hear me.
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Beautiful.
What I'm saying is that the black voter serves as a livelihood to most people in the district. In fact, it serves about 80% of the population of the district. Any activity in the black voter that destroys this kind of livelihood is something that we should be worried. This is not just a one-day job. We are going to sustain it. As I was explaining, the government has put in place measures to sustain these activities for a very long time until these illegal miners leave the water bodies. This operation, we did that in conjunction with the blue water gas, some of them, and after this, we are going to put them on the water bodies to control patrol as and when the people come back there.
And we can see the number of individuals involved in this. They appear to be a large number. Based on the equipment you have seized and even destroyed. And so security is a key concern. How will you ensure that the place isn't taken over by these illegal miners again? Well, we apologize. We had to truncate that interaction with the DCE for Bole. Just to take you now to the Jubilee House, President John Dramani Mahama is swearing in new justices of the Court of Appeal. Let's listen in.
The swearing in of our new justices of the Court of Appeal. This is not merely a ceremony of robes and oaths. It is a renewal of the covenant between us and the Ghanaian people in whom the sovereign power lies. For when citizens walk into the courts of this nation, they do not simply seek judgments, they seek hope. Hope that the law will protect them, hope that their rights will be respected, and hope that their voices will be heard. And today, as we swear you in, we are renewing that hope in our people. The Court of Appeal is the people's court of renewal. It is here that errors are corrected, injustices are reversed, and the principles reaffirmed that no wrong is beyond remedy. For many Ghanaians, the Court of Appeal is often the last hope for justice when all other avenues have been exhausted. And that is why the authority you assume today is not only legal, but profoundly moral. You hold in your hands the power to heal wounds, to restore confidence, and to guide our nation towards fairness. In recent times, our courts have not escaped criticism. Citizens have openly and sometimes harshly questioned judicial decisions. But I want to say clearly, criticisms of judgments is not the end of hope. It is the evidence of hope. It shows that Ghanaians still believe in the courts, that justice still matters, and that verdicts have meaning in their lives. What we must guard against is cynicism, the corrosive belief that the courts no longer serve the people, but only the powerful in society. To rebuild trust, our courts must demonstrate in word and deed that justice is not compromised by status, wealth, or political convenience. So to you, our new justices, I say, let your judgments not silence criticism, but inspire confidence in our people. Let your judgments reassure Ghanaians that while we may debate outcomes, we can never doubt your integrity, your impartiality, and your fidelity to the national constitution. Our reset agenda is not only about rebuilding infrastructure or expanding the economy, it's also about fostering a more inclusive society. It is also about renewing our institutions, restoring the faith of our people in the pillars of our democracy. A judiciary that delivers swift, fair, and transparent justice is a cornerstone of this reset that we talk about. And that is why the NDC 2024 manifesto commits us to reforms that will make justice more efficient and accessible to our people. The first is digitizing the courts so that adjournments and delays no longer frustrate ordinary citizens. The second is creating specialized divisions at the High Court and Court of Appeal to handle land disputes, commercial cases, and labor matters, which too often drag on for many years. Introducing time-bound case management systems to ensure that justice delayed is no longer justice denied. Expanding legal and aid services to ensure that justice is not for the privileged or the wealthy, but the right of every Ghanaian. Strengthening judicial ethics and accountability so that misconduct and corruption find no place within our courts. These are not abstract promises, they are concrete steps that will make justice not only more credible, but also more hopeful. Let us remember that justice is not separate from development. Justice is the invisible infrastructure on which every economy, every community, and every democracy rests. Investors will not risk their capital where contracts can be overturned by bias and prejudice. Entrepreneurs will not thrive where land disputes trap them in endless litigation. Communities cannot live in peace where verdicts are held in doubt. And that is why the renewal of our courts is at the heart of our economic transformation. Our 24-hour economy, our Big Push infrastructure program, and our broader vision of shared prosperity. Justice is not a luxury, it is a foundation for all these. My lords and lady justices, as you assume your new roles, I ask you to carry these three virtues. The first is courage, the second is integrity, and the third is humility. Courage to resist pressure, whether political or financial. Let me go over that. Courage to resist pressure, whether political or financial, and to uphold the law even when it is unpopular. Integrity to ensure that justice cannot be bought, delayed, or bent by influence. Humility to remember that power is given not to rule over the people, but to serve the people. History remembers not those who followed the path of least resistance, but those who stood firmly for principle when it mattered most. At this moment in our national journey, Ghanaians need reason to hold on to hope. They need to believe again that the courts are not distant temples of law, but living guardians of fairness. Every decision you make can rekindle that belief. Every ruling you make can remind citizens that Ghana is still a land where truth prevails and justice is not for sale. I urge you, therefore, to be not only arbiters of law, but also custodians of hope. Carry with you the solemn truth that justice is the most powerful promise of our democracy, and that through your service, this promise would endure. If you do this, then long after you have left the bench, your names will not be merely recorded in law reports, they will be remembered in the hearts of Ghanaians as justices who renewed our faith in our republic. As you take your oaths today, know that you swear not only before me as president, not only before the Chief Justice, but before God, before history, and before the people whose lives you will touch with your judgments. May your judgments be wise, may your service be faithful, and may your legacy be enduring. On behalf of the government and people of Ghana, I extend a warm welcome and congratulations to you on this noble calling. May justice prevail, may hope endure, and may our nation be renewed. I thank you, and may God bless our judiciary and our beloved country, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Oh, we can do another round of big applause for this enlightening speech. Mr. President, may I crave your indulgence to introduce two people who are also here, senior government officials. We have Nanaya Jantua, presidential staffer. Shall we please recognize you? I'm told Mr. Sami Jemfi is also here.
Well, there you have it. The president has just sworn in some judges to the Court of Appeal, and we brought you that live here. The president says we're at a point where the people need to believe in the judiciary again. Well, away from that, the race to the grand finale of Energy Commission Renewable Energy Challenge is heating up, with 6 schools from 6 regions competing for the title of Clean Energy Champion. Qualifying from the Volta region, students from Adidome Senior High School share their joy so far and reveal the innovation and solutions that they plan to showcase at the grand finale slated for October 7 at the Accra International Conference Center.
Town of Adidome in the Central Tongue district of the Volta region, confidence is running high. Adidome Senior High School has qualified for the grand finals of the prestigious Energy Challenge program for the senior high schools. The 3-member student team is not just preparing, they are aiming to win with heads down and spirits up. They are diving into their final preparations. The students, Ephraim Dachomo, Welinam Alose, and Dongo Gadjagma, are very confident of winning the trophy.
For me, I felt this is really going to be great, and we are really going to make an impact. We actually went for the STEMI regional camp, and there we met as a winner. So that was where the whole thing started. We actually in a group, and then finally the 3 of us were picked to work on a project for this very one. We went for the region, hoping that if for that, I will be able to place at least 2nd or 3rd. And then, to our surprise, we actually won. And so we got to realize that, yes, this is actually going to be great. If we should put in an effort and we should work on this project, we believe that it's going to send us far. And we're actually hoping. So when we went to the zona and we announced the 2nd, it's actually a mind-blowing experience.
I'm going to win this. I'm going to bring the trophy to our school. I have the courage and I have the hope. I want to encourage my leader. This is a good opportunity. This platform is very good for ladies as especially, because anytime we go with guys, they always see us the ladies.
The journey has been interesting. Looking at we starting from the region to the zonal, and now we are going to the national. Honestly, I wasn't expecting what I expected, but I'm happy and I'm glad I involved myself in this competition.
The teachers, Mr. Atta Boysen Goffred and Mr. Odum Shadrach Asari, says it's been a journey of growth and resilience. Despite a few challenges, they remain confident in their team.
So far so good. After the zonal competition, we are working very hard. We are 2nd, so we want to be first this time around. So with the suggestions and the input by the judges and some of the experts in the field, we are taking them into consideration.
Have you faced challenges?
A lot. first financial issues. So some of the things we have to pre-finance and getting money from management is also very difficult task. And the old students too are not also helping in that regard. And some of the things you cannot get some of the electronic components. You have to travel all the way from here to Accra, and it's difficult to come back.
For our students, they are good in making these projects, but we are faced with challenges, and these challenges hinder us from harnessing the full potential of these students. Now we are making an appeal to the government, benevolent organization, those that are interested in STEM education, to come to our aid in supporting these students to come up with their full potential in the STEM education.
The headmaster, Dr. Vincent Jidula Atiku, says regardless of the outcome, the school already considers this a win.
The STEM program is a practical program, and we are trying to depart from the bookish kind of education system that we have into practical education. In fact, when I saw their performances before they went for the zonal competition, that was when I really sat in to see their performances. It was wonderful. Highly, highly impressed. For the Energy Commission Senior High School Challenge competition, we are confident that we will carry the day.
From books to brainstorming, these young minds are determined to power their way to the top. Ivy Setoji, JoyNews, Adidoma Senior High School.
Bring back the DC of Boli, who was just with us before we went to that live feed. Mr. Abdullah, we appreciate your time. Just as we wrap up briefly, how do you plan to sustain some of the interventions that you have already started in Boli? How do you plan to sustain the interventions you have started?
Yes, what I'm saying is that the dissect had thorough discussions on that. And the plan, there are this blue water gas that have been trained for this purpose. So we are just told that they will be on the water source activity that we have done.
Okay, thank you so much. And we'll be back at you, just get updates on efforts so far. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. Well, that's how we wrap up the conversation here on The Pulse. I appreciate your time and your company. My name is Faustina Safi. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Some top stories there. We brought you that story of the nurses and midwives protesting over 10 months salary arrears. And we tried to reconnect with them, but then in subsequent bulletins, we'll be speaking to them just to get their thoughts on some of the assurances that the Finance Ministry and the Health Ministry have given them so far. Well, it's time for me to leave you. Have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye.